Hey, me, Makari. You join Discord and Twitch. Hey, thanks, bye. Are you ready for something that just works? Because if you can't tell by the mighty guise of our Lord and Savior, Todd Goddamn Howard, this video is going to be one about our Lord and Savior, Bethesda Games Workshop, whatever they're called. I know that, like, Up Is Not Jump videos don't really do well for, like, reactionary stuff, but this is my goddamn stream. I choose what I want to do. I've been falling in love with the Fallout universe, and I want to know what New Vegas is all about, because this video could be the thing that convinces me why I do not play Fallout New Vegas. So let's see what we have to see with this one.
In October 2010, Bethesda announced that very soon extra content would be released for Fallout.
They forgot to put the word TM at the end of it. If you're going to put soon TM, if you're going to put soon, you got to put soon TM. Because if you don't, no one's going to believe you. And you don't hold yourself accountable for lying. Because soon is a very broad term. Soon could mean as soon as tomorrow. Or it could mean a year from now. Soon is a quantifiable term. Quantifiable by a metric of time and space. Soon, 10 years from now, could be soon, comparatively in a 100-year time span. So please, be specific.
New Vegas. 4 major story add-ons came out over the following months, namely Dead Money, Honest Hearts, Old World Blues, and Lonesome Road. It has been so long since these add-ons were released. Up Is Not Jump, a video game reviewer, has died.
Nice. I mean, I'm watching this because I've not played Fallout New Vegas yet. I fully plan to, and I think this is going to do a good job of giving me some kind of expectation. The thing is, no matter like the story in Fallout games, I don't think is really an important part in the grand scheme of things. Because really, you're playing the Fallout games for the experientialness of the decision making and everything. So, to me, this is more so going to convince me whether you know, it's truly the game of all time.
But his remains stay active today, critiquing.
Isn't it wild that Fallout New Vegas is like 10 years old?
This game is terrible.
And it's still more popular than Fallout 4?
You know what would be more
or Fallout
fun?
76?
You. The Fallout New Vegas DLC. I'll just use my psionic powers to insert the disc.
Dude, you know what? Nothing turns me on more than a brainy brain.
Guys.
Dying slowly.
In Dead Money, you open up your Pip-Boy to find a radio channel broadcasting details about the Sierra Madre. From this, you learn it contains an amazing casino and resort where you can...
Ah, yes. So my knowledge of New Vegas is that you are a dude that got shot in the face because you lost a gambling thing, and someone in a checkered tuxedo took liberty to remove your brain from your body, and then you got mended because drugs or something. Not that it really matters, but I mean, if you're playing Fallout for the plot, it's like watching porn for the plot. Let's face it.
Visit and let go of all your problems. The broadcast leads you to a bunker that contains a radio, and if you walk towards it, you'll get knocked out by gas, which, by the way, is very intense.
The average VTuber convention. Oh god, they've got the singing VTuber up on stage again.
And soon wake up in the courtyard of the Sierra Madre Resort, which is overlooked by the casino. Father Elijah, the man who kidnapped
Elijah,
you,
a trustworthy man with a
and
trustworthy beard,
here to break into the vault of the Sierra Madre Casino, as it holds something of great importance. And for me, this was a pretty good start to the DLC. See,
is it my dignity?
Veronica here, who can join you as a follower, and she is probably the best companion in the whole game, which is a big achievement given one is a robot dog and the other is...
But puppy.
Big achievement given one is a robot.
But pupper. Look at my boy. Look at what they did to my boy. Not even multiple amputations stops this boy from being the best boy in existence.
Dog, and the other is Danny Trejo.
I can throw the gun at him if you want, boss.
Veronica tells loads of jokes and is all round just generally great. But you also get the sense there's a lot more going on under the surface that she's using humor to cover up.
Up Is Not Jump. His videos are like really dry in some sense, but then he pulls out some of the most out of pocket comments imaginable, and it just takes you for such a left hook. It's unreal.
While, though, she'll eventually open up about her old mentor, Father Elijah.
Oh no.
And from her,
The
we
one thing
learn
I'm
all
allergic
about
to.
him. He's a
Backstory.
technological genius and a past leader of the Brotherhood of Steel. Most notably, we learn that he suffered a huge defeat trying to defend a power station called Helios 1 from the NCR.
Damn you, Helios!
Now, we know from visiting this station early on in the game that Helios 1 is actually powering a giant, unstoppable sky laser.
Oh.
Damn you, Helios!
Damn
From all
you,
this, we get a
son!
full-
Wait, no, hold on. Yeah, no, this is going to be me in about 3 weeks when the English summer kicks in. In case you guys don't know, British people are very susceptible to the sun. The second we get anything that's above 10 degrees, you know, we catch fire. And that's just the average British summer.
Helios!
And from all this, we get a foreboding sense that when Father Elijah lost such a powerful weapon, something inside him snapped.
Said he'd return with one of the...
It's like a VTuber who doesn't have Arcade face tracking in their model. When you don't have that facial tracking, you lose a part of your soul. Oh no! Now chat can't look at my beautiful lips slapping backwards and forwards with this inane drivel that's coming forth from my mouth.
greatest treasures of the
That
old
looks like
world.
I'm a ventriloquist.
Make the Mojave like it was meant to be. Wipe the slate clean.
It's not often that Veronica is so serious, and now here I am faced with this person she seems to be genuinely scared of. It very quickly adds a lot of
Side
tension
eye.
to this setup. Anyway, beyond all this good stuff, this specific DLC, Dead Money, is
Dead money?
just way too confusing.
Look, I'm not the
No!
brightest
I
guy.
can't. Okay, guys, I don't think this DLC is going to be for me. Do I look literate to you? Guys, being literate in England in this economy is hard. Like, we had a Brexit. We had, like, the Conservatives. Do you think we have any spare money to dedicate to learning how to read? Dude, I can barely put my pants on in the morning, let alone read.
Hilarious.
But Elijah starts explaining why we're here all in one go, and it is far too much
Starfield
for me
eyes
to
be like,
follow. He says I'm
is
wearing a bomb collar that
Starfield
will
even
explode if I
still a
try to
thing?
leave. We're gonna
Hold on, I want to do a bit of theory crafting. New Vegas Steam chart. I want to do this for science. For science. What the hell, dude? Morty. Fallout's popping off. Holy crap. Okay, what about Fallout 4? Fallout 4 wouldn't be high, would it? What? Oh? Wow. No, that's fine, Tane. I'm actually in the same spot you are as well. I'm using this to kind of determine whether I actually want to play it or not. What about Fallout 76? Like that's like an MMO, right? There are more people playing Fallout 4 than there are people playing the new, like, MMO open world sandbox game. And to be fair, I actually wouldn't mind playing. I will at some point play Fallout 76. I legitimately really want to play Fallout 76. That's wild. Oh, wait, okay. For the full circle, what about Fallout 3? Oh, that's Game of the Year edition. Okay, you know, I mean, that makes sense. Fallout 3 is a freaking old game. I mean, that's still crazy, the fact that these games have more of an active player base now than most live service games that come out in the modern era. That's actually kind of crazy.
heist our way into the casino building here with a team of 3
Yeah,
extra
next
people
week
I need
is
to
very
gather.
likely
I should
gonna be a
craft the
Fallout
toxins I
week.
find around the villa into substances to help me. My only weapon is a hollow rifle that he's made. People in strange suits live
three
here, but
sold.
they're immortal for some reason, so to kill them, they need to be blown up. There's a red cloud here made of...
Copper and sulfur.
Elijah's
Blood.
voiceover is great, by the way. The
Copper
clouds
and
found
sulfur
here
is
burn
blood.
everything they touch to avoid concentrated parts of them. There are dangerous holograms that can be destroyed if you shoot their emitters. The villa is full of radios and speakers that will set off my bomb collar if I get near them for too long. There are assembly vending machines powered by chips I can find around the villa, and my Pip-Boy can track the collars of the others I need for the heist, and off you go.
It's all too much!
Yeah, but you're a brain. This is literally your one job.
Obsidian has come up with so many great ideas for the Sierra Madre, but introducing them all at once like this is just too stressful.
So
and
chat, my question to you.
overwhelming.
What's your
And
favorite
I'm not the only
Fallout?
one who thinks so. I'd rather chug embalming fluid and set myself on fire than play another second of this godforsaken deal.
So-
Also, as I said, the college...
You know what? With that kind of a comment, that's still like that still means that this is a better game than most NetEase games.
This godforsaken deal. Also, as I said, the collar you're wearing will go off if your character goes near any radio or speakers. And this is a really simple idea to understand. But the first example of it we find in the game is so badly designed. See, the first person you are told to go and find is a mutant called
Big boy,
Dog.
look at him.
And when you enter the room with him
That's not
your
a
collar
dog, that's a
starts beeping
tortoise.
for the first time. But there are
That's a
4
weird-looking
radios hidden
turtle.
in this first room that if you don't destroy within 10 seconds, your head will instantly explode.
Uh-oh.
Why not just have one radio? It's all just so
Saw trap
confusing.
much?
Ugh, even as a dying brain, I hate bad game design.
Whoa, 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 you can't review these DLC like that. Give me a second.
Father Elijah?
Oh, yo, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Oh, there we go. Okay, Asgid's got something to say. Go on.
Because of the series, lots of people jumped on the games. Fallout 4 is the easiest to get into and the most stable one by default. Fallout New Vegas, while better, has too many problems that make it next to unplayable in vanilla. Fallout 3 is literally unplayable as it is incompatible.
Oh, that you ran out of words. Says incompatible with most modern systems, meaning it needs compatibility patches, mods, and I think that's probably the thing that puts me off from playing most Bethesda games. Is that if I was to play them, I would need to mod the crap out of them to make them worth playing. I feel, which is kind of why I feel like Fallout New Vegas might be the best one for me to go for, just considering you don't need to do much for it to get it into it, I suppose. Still, I'm gonna be excited to play these regardless. Like, I haven't played a Fallout game properly since Fallout 4 first released. And even then, I played it for maybe like an hour. In fact, hold on, science time. How many? Let's see how long I have in Fallout 4, because I do have the game. And the last time I played it was 2016. 51 hours? I don't remember dedicating 51 hours to this. Oh wait, no, I spent most of my time building my base, didn't I? Huh.
Wait, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just activating your Pip-Boy's cellular regeneration unit. This might hurt a bit.
Oh, he's gone.
Whoa, brain power.
What?
Oh my god, he's hot.
Hands again.
Oh no, he's hot.
One of those. A foot. So after we deal with the radios, we can properly see Dog in his cage. And not to keep complaining, but meeting Dog here may be the most confusing character introduction I have ever seen in anything ever. At
Yeah,
first, Dog
8
won't talk to
years.
us, so we explore the
8
building and end up
years
going
since Bethesda
downstairs.
gave us
When we
a
do,
good new
disembodied
game.
voice starts to speak
And I said,
to us
good
tells
new
us that
game.
He's the one who locked
You want to hear? Oh, you're not. That was what I was going to do, right? Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Multi-billion-dollar game that took them 10 years to make. Oh dear. Oh no.
Dog in the cage.
Dog. I had to lock him up.
He guides us to a recording on a desk and says that this recording is him and tells us to take this recording and
I still haven't
play
played
it to Dog
Starfield.
upstairs. So we go back upstairs.
Everything
play
I've
the
seen from it
recording,
just
and
tells
then
me I don't
God
wanna play it.
starts speaking to us.
I don't
It
wanna
turns out that
try
Dog
playing.
and
If I'm gonna play
God are the
Starfield, I'll
same
just play
person with
No Man's
dissociative
Sky.
identity disorder who are both obsessed with the cage.
Be careful what cage you open.
And while they do mention
Why does he
this
gotta sound
cage,
like
they're
that? He
also
sounds like a
referring to
very
the
hospitable
metaphorical part
person.
of their mind that they have created to hold whichever one of them isn't in control. But also the
I
recording
don't
of
count
God
76
talking
because
will
it's a
turn
live
Dog
service
into God,
garbage
and the recording
pile.
of Elijah we suddenly have on our
I'll still
Pip-Boy
play
will
it,
turn
but I
God
don't
into
consider live
Dog.
service
Oh
games
my
to be
God,
actual
it's all
games.
too much!
In the same sense. Oh.
Don't get me wrong though, Dog and God are great characters. Honestly, all the characters in this DLC are brilliant. It's just that they're all so fucking
Pretty.
contrived. Like early
Oh.
on, we meet this lady, Christine.
She's gorgeous.
Who's
Oh,
also
she's
here
had
to help
she's had brain surgery. So that's what I did with my brain.
And is Veronica's ex-girlfriend, for anyone not reading the Wikipedia page. Christine can't talk as she's had her vocal cords cut, so
Oh,
she
shit.
uses hand gestures to communicate. And while this is
Oh.
a really good idea, the game simply isn't able to produce complex animations, so we just have this. She looks back at you and her hands clench into fists. Her eyes narrow and she takes a step back, studying you. Are you fucking joking? He
She's
laughed
role-playing
heartily,
with
did
us.
a triple somersault in glee and then burst into tears at the beauty.
She looks at you from across the table thinking, "My goodness, that is huge. I don't think I can fit that inside of me. But then she realizes that you're actually just cringe and can't even pay for your own meal. So instead, she's going to leave now. Bye.
Of his own theatrical ability. And this is all she does for like half the DLC. Her text isn't even on screen for more than a few seconds, so I can't read, let alone...
Did you like that? Did you like my roleplay?
She's trying to say. And honestly, I think
same kind of shit you get in
on screen, it would still
Goldshire.
make no sense at all. So the object of this DLC is to survive the many dangers of the villa, so that me, Dog, Christine, and Domino, who I haven't mentioned, but he is...
Look at that unit!
Ceremony in the villa.
Suave.
Open the locked casino. From there, we can enter and try and reach the vault under the casino, as it holds a great treasure that Father Elijah wants. But the problem is
it common
doing all
sense?
this isn't very
That's the only treasure I
the
care
hazards
about.
of this Sierra Madre that Elijah warns us of are all more frustrating than they are interesting. Your bomb collar keeps going.
That sentiment is exactly why I really didn't enjoy playing Skyrim. Like, all of those quirky glitches that people are like, oh, it's so quirky, they were just annoying. Like, I didn't have to get shot. I mean, it was funny the first time getting knocked straight into the stratosphere when I found my first giant. But after the 5th time of it happening and then having a giant spawn in my face, it just doesn't really, like, stick to me as a very well-made game. Like, at what point do funny, quirky glitches go from being hee-hoo funny to, yeah, this game is really shitly made?
Going off, the casino security holograms are immortal, and all the deadly gas blocks areas and clouds your vision. What kept me going through all of this, though, was the promise of finding out what could be in the vault that was so important to Elijah. And after much difficulty, you do eventually make it down to this vault on your own. But when you get there, you find there is no dangerous treasure or evil weapon.
I got a bit of a
Father
Raccoon
Elijah
City vibe
contacts you
from
and explains that the computers in
the Resident
casino
Evil,
vault
original
have
Resident Evil
full
movie.
control of the Sierra
You're all
Madre
going to die
resort
down
and its
here.
Casino, with its security systems, invulnerable holograms, toxic gas clouds, reanimated dead turrets. With all this, he will be able to return to the Mojave and get his revenge. And you know what? Getting through all
my
of
favorite
that to find
thing,
out we've actually spent
revenge.
the entire
I love
DLC trying to
murderizing
survive
people
the very
into
thing
an
Elijah wants.
atomized pile of dust on the ground.
I really liked it.
There are actually a load of gold bars in the casino vault.
Gold! I love gold! I love eating it, it's delicious, especially flaked on top of my ice
Give a
cream.
worthless gold. I think I'm dying.
Seriously, who in the wasteland is going to buy gold bars off me? They don't
Damn,
want gold,
boy,
they
you
need
strong.
Water.
But on closer inspection, each bar is actually valued at 10,539 caps. Good grief, my own spine that I'm carrying isn't even worth 1 cap.
Wait,
and
your
there's
spine?
37 bars here.
Oh, he's doing a roleplay as an average VTuber. Haha, get it? Because none of them have a spine. Or dignity. Or pride. Or honesty. Or any redeemable features whatsoever.
Now, these bars are so heavy that if you hold even 2, you become so weighed down you can only walk at a snail's pace. But who cares? I'll snap my tendons walking back to the Mojave. You
Yeah,
don't need
exactly.
functioning ankles when you've got cash, son.
Any game that has,
Before I
like,
can leave the
over-encumbered,
vault,
it's
Elijah
just, it's
comes
not
down to
really
finish me off,
a
but
problem.
not
More just a
lightweight.
hindrance.
But when you kill him, it starts the timer on your bomb collar, and you have around a minute to quickly escape the vault before the collar goes off.
Oh.
Okay, let's
Oh, no.
do this.
Speed run. You got this, baby. Any percent speed run. Save yourself.
Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Eventually you'll realize that no matter what you do, there is no way you can make it to the exit in time unless you run. And that's the point. The message of this DLC from the start was
that's
always
so
let him
wild.
go. And at one point or another, every character
Well, just fast travel. Just fast travel, obviously. Duh.
says it.
It's letting go. It's letting go.
It's letting go.
It's letting go.
Drop me and I'll sue you, human.
Let go of your troubles and come to the great Sierra Madre.
You know someone will
Let go
figure
of
out how
your
to get the
mind.
gold out there, right?
Let go of your failures. Let go of your greed. So you, of course, have to drop almost all of the bars so that you're light enough to run to sweet freedom.
Nah, just
I've changed my mind.
before you go in, put all your points into strength and carry that shit out like a chud.
I want to die rich. When we make it back to the Mojave, though, it isn't all over. Fortunately, we receive one last message from the Sierra Madre Resort.
Wait a moment. Before you go, farewells can be a time of sadness. Letting go.
Oh, poetic.
As a guest of the Sierra...
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah! Screw your sentimentality. I ain't here for no emotional relief. I'm here to blow shit up and get rich.
Why is there an eye in here? Oh, excuse me. Hello, stranger. I'm the burned.
Hello, stranger. What are you selling? What are you buying?
Well, actually, I have this weathered cap stash containing 10 caps, all themed around Up Is Not Jump. Who's Up Is Not Jump? Never mind, that'll get me an iguana on a stick. Wait, I have a whole box of over a dozen valuables. Oh, you could even win a piece of my
The followers of the apocalypse, who are a kind faction of total pacifists. I love this idea because although it's only mentioned in passing initially, it's a great example of the game's main theme, which is that every faction in the Mojave, no matter who they are flawed. The followers of the apocalypse,
like,
without a doubt, come across
the entire notion of Fallout is that how much things change, they stay the same.
And education to
Welcome to my apocalypse, motherfucker.
But they ignore the fact that in the wrong hands, the knowledge they share can be dangerous. Without any hesitation, they taught Caesar himself everything he needed to conquer and absorb basically all of the tribes east of the Mojave. In all of this, it seems Caesar's character is analogous to Kurt's from Apocalypse Now. And look, they're both bald! To cut a long story short, before the events of this game, the followers of the apocalypse introduced
there are no such
Caesar,
thing as conveniences, coincidences,
to a man named Joshua Graham. After some time and a series of small mistakes, they had formed Caesar's Legion, and Joshua Graham became Caesar's legate. Very shortly before the events of the game, Graham led the Battle of Hoover Dam against the Legion's main enemy.
God, I love learning about this. Looks like Britain.
This battle, and to set
yeah,
example,
basically.
Caesar covered Graham
this is most certainly post-Brexit Britain right now. Like, I look outside my window. Yeah, that's England. Just with slightly less rain.
I could survive that. Let me show you. Okay, here we go. I'm fine. See, I told you I'd be fine.
Damn. Really up their production values. This is clearly more production quality than anything Marvel's produced recently.
Caesar, who knew Graham had survived, banned his name from ever being spoken. But this only led to the legend of the Burned.
Yo, Braden, thank you for the follow.
This DLC's main draw is that you finally get to meet the Burned Man. And does all this build-up pay off? Well, let's ask him. How did you survive?
I survived because
yeah, like, when are we all going to come to the realization that Fallout isn't really an apocalypse or post-apocalyptic future? It's just Australia.
Obsidian, you son of a bitch, I'm in. You know, I never played these DLC when they came out originally, and so I've spent the last 10 years wondering what the
That's a lot of 9/11s.
like, and meeting him to find out his voice is the same person that voices Arvel the Swift from Skyrim.
Now cut me down before anything else shows up. We should have given you a better welcome on your first visit to Zion.
Really almost ruined it for me. This DLC is about helping the Burned Man, Daniel, and a tribe they're protecting.
Are those 45s? Are they 45s? They didn't look like 45s.
Destroy another tribe that's trying to kill them called the White.
I could be mistaken.
And this part of the DLC I'd describe as not great. See, the
Man, there's more naked people fighting each other here than in the center of Birmingham currently.
Age or infirmity. They beat children to...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Whoa, child abuse?
Went into a settlement a year or two ago and killed everyone. Women. Children.
As you probably noticed when I talked about the followers of the apocalypse, New Vegas is interesting because most of the major factions in this game have a well-fleshed-out backstory that you can learn about.
Isn't that literally an entire faction of people that just dress up like Elvis Presley?
Talking with specific members of that faction. In this DLC, though, the Whitelegs are
actually. Do you remember that game? What was it called? The game that Obsidian made that totally wasn't Fallout New Vegas but in space. Oh, what was that game called? Outer Wilds, I think? Outer Worlds? Dude, that game was wild. I loved it. It's a shame it didn't get any... Like, it's a shame it didn't do better than it did. I thought Outer Worlds was pretty friggin' good.
Other than pure evil. They're no different to the raiders in Fallout 3, except they have
ma'am, those are colanders on your boobs.
This DLC becomes when you think about the way Native American culture is represented. I like how if you help the Burn Man use his skills to kill all of the Whitelegs tribe, you are helping him do exactly what he and his now nemesis Caesar used to do together, but otherwise this story is pretty standard stuff. What makes this DLC overall very memorable for me, though, is it probably has the best written side story in the entire Fallout universe, which comes in the form of
the best Fallout game.
Several caves,
well,
all left by one man.
Arguably, the best Fallout game ever made wasn't even made by Bethesda.
The nuclear bombs dropping 200 years ago by hiding in a cave, and his logs give us a first-hand account of what the world was like just after the bombs dropped. He talks about how his wife and son were killed when the bombs fell, but also that while surviving out here, he eventually comes across the people who used to live in Vault 22. See,
22. Which one's that again?
Back in the base game, and learn it was abandoned after the dwellers in it became infected
with
a deadly fungus that would kill, then later tried to reanimate the people it infected. Almost all of the vaults we
He's
find
a
in
happy
Fallout
fungus
3
boy.
and New Vegas
He eats
have
his
no
broccoli.
living vault dwellers in them, but that really is...
I mean, you don't need to worry about eating your broccoli when you are the broccoli. Steamed human broccoli.
part of the magic. We're only left with our imagination to assume what awful things happen to them, and nothing can beat the human. And nothing.
Why did they draw the mouth of this thing like a butthole? That's a butthole. I've seen some buttholes, and that's a butthole. This plant doesn't consume things, it rectally inserts them through its mouth. You know how sometimes you have knowledge that you really wish you didn't? Well, you know that your mouth, your lips, the composition of your mouth tissue is the same composition of tissue for your butthole. When you're talking, you're literally talking out your ass. Do with that information what you will.
Can beat the human imagination. Nah, fuck that. These final logs give us an incredibly satisfying, complete story for the dwellers of Vault 22 that doesn't destroy any of the mystery Obsidian created for them originally. It's sort of like the total opposite of the film Prometheus. Clark learns that the dwellers of Vault 22 ultimately became cannibals, and over the course of several months,
cannibals, more like
killed almost all of them. You can even find some of the traps he used.
Non-picky digesters.
The final log we find was written by him as he sits
versatile
under the stars,
consumers.
ready to die. Here is where he
Let's face it, cannibalism is just a way of us saying that we're not really fussy about what we eat.
He kept fighting so he could keep the memory.
Whilst the rest of y'all are starving, I'm eating good.
Longer. It is what he owed them. And
Man meat.
I never forgot your face. They used to say that happened after a while, but never did for me. Maybe the only point of all this living was to keep those pictures in my head going for as long as I could.
I don't want to be talking about no sentimental philosophical bullshit.
Not a day went
Not from somebody who sounds like they're from New Orleans.
Yo, this DLC is dope. I am a serious game reviewer. This DLC takes place inside the big...
Why is it that whenever a British person tries to look gangster, they just look infinitely more white and Caucasian? I am far too white and British for this. I am out of here. Enjoy the video.
This DLC takes place inside the Big Empty, a scientific complex that primarily developed technology to help America win their war against the Chinese. But we all saw how that went. The DLC begins with us being captured and experimented on by a group
Go, white boy, go!
Who actually won PR Agency of the Year 2023. No, we are captured by the Think Tank, a group of scientists that ran the facility hundreds of years ago, but now they're just brains in jars, kept alive by this ungodly merging of flesh
for the foreseeable future, Dragon. There's a few projects in the works, though.
Turning me into a lobotomite, and now I have no
Hey
choice
now,
but to
hey
help
now,
them take
I don't
on
even
their
know what that
nemesis,
word means.
Dr. Mobius, who is sending wave after wave of giant robo-scorpions.
Dr. Mobius does sound like a bit of a cliche. What the hell is that? That looks like some kind of 70s sci-fi action horror movie monster.
Beams that will render the think tank into simpletons. I told you this DLC was dope. On top of this creative setting, what makes Old World Blue so good is it is, simply put, insanely well written.
If I were not as intelligent as I am, impossible.
See, the tone of this DLC is pretty much
Yo, that's
comedy, and making a video
impossible.
game that is non-stop
I see they're
jokes
as
that is
eloquent as I am.
funny is not an easy task. There's a reason why Undertale, Portal, and The Secret of Monkey Island hold such legendary status.
Good
We
writing.
start, as I said, by talking
Good
with
writing of the
five
gameplay
brains
any
in
day.
The think tank, and the dialogue here is all gold.
In all probable likelihoods, yes. Possibly.
The brains eventually send me out into the Big Empty to uncover all of the advanced
Boner Boy. Look, it's
created here, which I
Papyrus!
can then use to break into the Forbidden Zone, where Dr. Mobius is hiding. And all this tech is great because it...
No way, I'm sorry.
Forbidden Zone, where Dr. Mobius...
These things are just VTubers. No, I'm being serious. Think about it. It's a human brain behind screens projecting PNGs of their model onto the screen. These are VTubers, but with extra steps. You're welcome.
This is hiding. And all this tech is great because it gives you new upgrades and abilities, but I think the best thing you can find here is the K9000 Cyberdog gun. This is basically just a Cyberdog that's been turned into a gun, but what sells it are all of its quirks. It barks when you equip it, cries when you unequip it, growls when there are enemies nearby, and it
I've never been so upset putting a gun away.
Like a sniffing nose, and oh, I love it so much. You can also upgrade the dog brain to make it more aggressive, which just means the gun does more damage. But the brain jar also turns red, and an angry dog sticker appears on the front of it. Marry me, old world blues. It's all these small yet quality additions that make this DLC so special. For example, you have a base in this area called the Sink, which is filled with objects that will help you collect resources, upgrade
the
your
sink as opposed to the bathtub or the garage.
The light switches, for example, can produce colored light that gives you certain skill bonuses. Or the sink here can give you water bottles to heal yourself while you're out and about. However, in one of the best ideas since Einstein invented water that doesn't get you wet.
Oh, I can't believe it's not wet.
All of these objects have their own personal...
Actually, water doesn't make you wet. Or rather, water isn't wet. Water merely applies molecular structure of H2O to your body, which then causes the density and property of whatever it touches to change, which then emulates the concept of what might then feel like being wet. But in reality, it's just your body's chemistry being changed ever so slightly to be weighted down by the moisture being applied to its surface. Actually...
personalities that relate to their function in some way. The Sink is a germaphobe, the Biological Research Unit is a pervert, and the Book Depository hates all books as they help promote independent thought. One of my favorite of these personalities is the Toaster, who, because their only function is to power a red-hot heating element, considers itself one of the most dangerous beings in existence.
A toaster is just a death ray with a smaller power supply.
And of course, there's the robot Muggy.
What is my purpose? Your purpose is to spread butter.
You know, in my last video, I said Mr. House was probably the best character in the whole Fallout series. No, I was wrong. It's Muggy here. Muggy is a Securitron that was designed to clean dishware, but he has been driven completely insane by the fact that no matter what he does, unclean dishes will always exist out in the world. This idea in of itself
clearly you've not seen my room.
Amazing, but the dialogue and the voice acting are chef's kiss.
The first ever Cuphead.
No, they're mine.
As I said, all these guys can upgrade your gear and weapons, but first you need to activate
Not Jump
their
literally
abilities
bought
by
10
them
mugs
upgrade
for like a
modules that you can
5-second
find
shot.
hidden around the Big Empty. And while this is all fine, I found that, like in Dead Money, because I was dropped into this new world so quickly, it all got a little bit confusing. Like, before I'd even met any of these crazy characters in the Sink, I found an upgrade module, and here's what the game told me about it. This holotape contains an audio sample of Gabriel's bark. It can be used to modify the sonic emitter's weapon at the Sink's jukebox. What?
Okay, totally understand. I'm following you.
These characters are found in a location called the Sink, but there's also a sink in the Sink that needs sink upgrade modules you find outside the Sink, and you bring them to the Sink so that you can upgrade the Sink.
So it can sync with your watch.
At times, I did feel a bit confused about this DLC's main story as well. It starts off, for example, with about 20 minutes of non-stop exposition from the main brain, Dr. Klein here. And while it's all brilliantly written and absolutely
Look, Gordon,
hilarious.
Dr. Kleiner.
Oppenheimer, which one of you self-professed geniuses has been adjusting my volume knob?
The other four brains
Guys,
of the
don't touch
Think also
knobs.
talk to you during this
That's
conversation,
my job.
and they only talk through Dr. Klein. So we have 5 characters, all of who look exactly the same, all talking through one person, and no matter who is speaking, it says Dr. Klein at the bottom. So although all of these characters have great personalities, I struggle a bit
that
to
was probably
remember who
once again, I repeat what I said earlier. Do I look literate to you? Do I look like I have the time of day to learn how to read?
throughout my playthrough.
You know, I seem to be having trouble understanding all of these DLC. I think actually there might be something wrong with me.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
Lobotomite.
Oh no, now what?
I've removed your brain, and you'll never find it. Well, actually, it's over there.
What? Oh no. You could have at least left it in the jar.
No, not my brain. I was using that for stuff.
Stratosphere levels of brilliance for me is how perfectly the Big Empty connects
I
itself
love the design
to the
though.
larger story of New Vegas.
That's one thing that Fallout has for itself is that it, even though it's every shade of brown,
I found a destroyed research facility.
It's got such charm to the design.
Botanical Garden, and in it were the same monsters we saw in the main game in Vault 22. But one of these monsters here is called Patient Zero. From this, we can deduce suggest that the research that took place here must have created the fungus that infected and destroyed most of Vault 22. And so, without a single line of dialogue, Old World Blues has been linked to both the main game and the side story of Randall Clark in the previous DLC, Honest Hearts. Old World Blues, marry me again! Big Empty may be this wacky location with loads of zany characters, but its impact on the rest of the Fallout universe is so incredibly grim. Also, have you
I suppose that's kind of like one of the problems with a lot of DLCs is they become very hyperbolic. At least with, if you're going to make a DLC, I feel like there needs to be some way of, like, interjecting it back into the main narrative. Otherwise, it feels like what you do in that DLC is just completely removed from everything you've put effort into with the main storyline. I mean, at least that's my perspective anyway. I feel kind of pointless doing DLC that has no relation to the main story.
You will find a computer terminal that reveals Father Elijah from the first DLC was here too. And from his logs you can find out the Big Empty was where he first heard about the Sierra Madre, first realized that the other character we met, Christine, was following him, and found and tested the technology for the bomb collars he used on us.
Oh.
Turn to the left, fashion.
Stop being so sexy! Oh! Why is he so sexy?
At the very beginning of Fallout New Vegas, we can learn that we weren't actually the first choice to be the courier that would deliver the Platinum chip, aka the chip that was stolen from us and got us shot in the head at the start of the game. The delivery was supposed to be made by a different courier, but he saw our name next on the delivery list for the chip and insisted that we take it instead.
Hope a storm from the Divide skins him alive.
In Lonesome Road, that courier, named Ulysses, contacts us and tells us to come find him at the Divide, which is a barren wasteland made up of mostly a long and destroyed road. He promises that if we do this, he will finally reveal to us why he let us take his package. And don't take it out of context! Now, this is my
What do you mean, Jump? You tell me not to take it that way, but you damn well know that's the way we're gonna take it!
The game sets up the
That's
entire plot of Fallout New Vegas, which
like,
is,
I mean, AO?
the greatest game of all time. On top of this, these DLCs have been continuously ramping up in quality as I've gone through them. So is this it? The exponential curve? The zenith of all Fallout creation?
No.
No. Steam hams!
Okay. The gameplay in this DLC...
You know, to be fair, McDonald's fries and McDonald's burgers, probably better to be used as a prop rather than an actual edible food.
The gameplay in this DLC is pretty good. See, as we cross the Divide to reach Ulysses, we find loads of new enemies, locations, and weapons, including a laser that can blow up nuclear warheads to clear your path, and a rapid-fire rocket launcher. The new enemies are really difficult to kill too, which is fitting as this is effectively the final quest in all of Fallout New Vegas. The problem comes with this DLC's writing.
See, the first thing that happens is we get a new companion, Edie, and he's here to unlock doors for us as we travel around the map.
Oh, it's cute!
Oh, hey, Edie. Didn't see you there.
Earlier in the main game, we find a similar companion, also called Edie. And while this new Edie is like that old Edie, it isn't quite the same Edie. What do you mean you're not?
What do you mean it's not Edie?
And there we go. I'm completely confused again. Why are you so useless, brain? Now where's it gone to? It's okay. I don't need brain to words.
What's even worse?
Yo, same dude, just like me. Yeah, pretty much an average British moment, to be honest. No brain, no problem.
I think the writing in this DLC might be purposefully convoluted in order to sound more meaningful than it really is. For example, Ulysses contacts us every hour or so to chat, which should be great as we could get loads of interesting dialogue as we travel. But he is absolutely no fun at all. Seriously, ask him any question.
No fun, no problem.
You are.
I'm a courier. Courier 6 was Courier 6. Like you, and not like you. In all the ways that...
Oh, fuck off! For the people at home not paying attention, Ulysses didn't actually
I don't give cares for the context. I just want to know I just want to play the goddamn game.
Exactly like this.
Exactly.
And every time he refers to the NCR, he calls them by a different name. The bear, the two-headed bear, the NCR. You don't sound smart, Ulysses. You're just belaying the point. So as we cross the Divide, Ulysses regularly
talk about being convoluted.
Edie, and it isn't until we're near the end of the road that he reveals how he knows us. And oh boy, does it really boil my potatoes. See, before the events of the game, our character, as a courier, bought a package to the Divide, which at the time was a thriving city. Unknown to our
That's
character,
not
this
Fallout, that's Skyrim.
Inside it. And
I know my
Bethesda
Bethesda swap.
Activated and detonated dozens of nuclear bombs that were unknowingly stored below the Divide, and everyone here
I don't see a problem with this.
So Ulysses
I would love
it
it if the nukes under England would erupt suddenly.
Even started and is putting that blame on us, the player. Jesus, talk about being rigged from the start. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Well, I've got some bad news for you, Ali. I didn't choose to do that. How am I supposed to feel connected to a plot twist that has absolutely nothing to do with anything I did? And what really gets me is that I have done so
Clearly,
much of
Todd
notes
Howard
of
had
this
some
game
injection
started.
here.
Why isn't this DLC related to any of that? I delivered the platinum.
You know what's kind of wild, though? Todd Howard and Bethesda were all about ignoring the fact that New Vegas even existed. But now in the Fallout TV series, they're like, hey, yeah, no, we were totally all about that New Vegas stuff. Yeah, don't mind me whilst we, like, make Fallout, the TV series, be entirely centered around the New Vegas timeline now. Yeah, oh yeah, no, we were totally always about that New Vegas stuff.
I killed Elijah. I met the burned man. I outsmarted the think tank. I did not go to the fucking divide with some stupid fucking package and blow it the up. This beef with Ulysses, this setting,
I feel like there's some subversion happening here.
Has nothing to do with anything we as the player have seen, done, or even heard of. Our character themselves doesn't even seem to remember it, yet we're having it all imposed on us like it was all our choice. As I said though, this DLC has a lot of great stuff going on outside of its story. It has loads of scripted set pieces, collapsing buildings, nuclear bombs going on.
No, Buzzling, what I mean is that they were always, like, everything that I remember about Fallout New Vegas is that it was the ostracized child of everything. It's like, oh yeah, no, that Fallout New Vegas, it's nothing too big. And now all of a sudden, because it's like the biggest, the most enjoyed Fallout game, and now that they've got their series going, like, oh yeah, no, we totally came up with Fallout New Vegas. No, that New Vegas thing, it was our best thing that we ever came up with.
Months, and with so much going on, it's not surprising. Playing through it, though, I get the sense Obsidian would have wanted even more time, mainly because there are some pretty big bugs here that many other people seem to encounter. The biggest issue I had by far is that Edie here simply didn't work at all. See, at the beginning of the DLC, I free him from this machine, but after that, he just hovers here frozen and doesn't follow me. Now, I'd happily just leave him behind, but unfortunately, I need him to open...
Well, it's because you didn't love him enough. Edie needs love just like the rest of us. Just like chat needs love, just like I need love. Everybody needs love. Have you tried the power of love and friendship? Because if you haven't, this is on you.
Unlocked doors for me. So what do? Well, after a little searching, I learned that I could just manually push Edie to every door he needed to unlock. Select to wait within the game for a few hours, and then he would activate and unlock the door. But getting him working again like this is only temporary. See, this Edie is supposed to follow you around at all times like the other Edie from the main game. But in this DLC, he's just never around. Every time you need him, you have to wait within the game for a few hours, and only then will he suddenly appear. To be honest, pretty much all of the technical problems I had with this DLC seem to relate to Edie.
Well, your problem here is that you didn't install 5,000 mods to make the game playable. Don't you know anything about Bethesda games? You have to mod the shit out of them to make them worth playing.
The DLC, for example, you get a load of extra slides that explain sort of what happens next in the story. But for me, all of the slides about Edie only played for a few seconds and then cut out. So here's an example.
That's the Bethesda scuff we know and love.
What? How was I supposed to read any of that?
Oh, Edie, what are you like? Ow!
Anyway, we eventually make it to Ulysses, and he tells us he's going to destroy the entire Mojave with some extra nuclear bombs that he found here in the Divide. But of course, how does he describe switching on a nuclear bomb?
The Divide giants are awakening.
Yes, man, please throw Ulysses from
Yes,
this down.
these are the nuclear bombs that destroyed half the world and explode in a very tiny mushroom cloud, the equivalent of a couple rounds of TNT.
Honestly, though, throughout this DLC, Ulysses has come across a bit of a raving lunatic, so I think this choice may actually be in character.
He's American. That's the standard.
I then have to tell Edie to hack this terminal to stop the nuclear bombs from launching, but doing so will fry Edie's circuits and kill him. And you know, him doing this for me and then instantly exploding would be sad if I hadn't just spent the last 5 hours pushing him across the entire Divide.
Overall, then, it's just not that great a DLC. Right, Edie? Edie?
Oh, you upset her. Edie's about to pop off. Oh.
Wait. It was you who took my brain. Yeah, you're right, actually. This does look better than before.
And so it was. Upisnotjump finished the Fallout New
Vegas
DLC.
We did it. Now,
And
the
with
real question
guidance
is,
from Pip-Boy
has this
Father
made me want to play
Elijah,
the
he was
games
able
more?
to take over the entire world.
Dumb.
Edie continued to advise Edie also founded, and I
yes.
for one welcome our new YouTuber overlord. May his reign be long and without mercy.
Thank you all so much for watching.
Well, I'll be brutally honest, that has neither convinced me nor not convinced me to play. However, I'm always interested to learn about the Fallout universe. So this has been funny. I do like upisnotjump. He's a very funny, sexy guy, and I would totally do everything I can to enjoy his content.